If you have an excessive screen time, if you struggle to focus every single day, if you feel addicted to content, to consuming on all these different platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, then I'm about to tell you how you can actually funnel your addiction and how you can use your obsessive personality to actually make a shitload of cash. Actually, I fundamentally believe that funneling addiction is probably the best way for anybody not only to get rich quick, but to get wealthy, right? And I'm about to tell you exactly how you can do it today. Now, the thing is, when you're looking at the personality of an individual that usually scrolls on what is it called, all these platforms, or let's say they play video games, or they're addicted to whatever, right? There's so many things that you can insert here. They have an aspect of their personality that most people lack, and that is obsessiveness, right? Obsessiveness is the one character trait that is so hard to get in people. It's literally so rare. But the fact that you, for example, are addicted to all of these platforms or addicted to consuming content, so on and so forth, means that you have this trait of obsessiveness. All you need to do is essentially go to the thing that you want to do and get obsessed with it. Get addicted to working or get addicted to making money. How do you do it? You basically implement fast feedback loops. If you look at any addiction, the way that it occurs is by the immediacy and the speed of feedback loops. What is a feedback loop? Feedback loop is either reward or punishment for a specific action, right? Now, the action is the input and the reward or the punishment is the output. It can be either or. It doesn't even need to be reward every time. Let me give you an example. So we're about to go back in the days. When I was a little younger, not that long ago, I used to play a lot of Fortnite. For the first 2-3 years that I played Fortnite, I didn't have a single win, right? Maybe a lot of you guys are losing respect for me. You're like, Hattie, I thought you were an upstanding gentleman. You were out here playing Fortnite for like multiple hours a day. Yes, I was. And you know what? I didn't win a single game for years on end. I remember the first time I got a win, I was so happy. So why did I get addicted to it? It's because I was being punished, but I was being punished very quickly. This is also why people get addicted to abusive relationships. There's a whole bunch of science behind this, right? Anyways, point is, the faster the feedback loop, the faster you get feedback for the things that you do, for the actions that you take, right? As soon as I open the game, right, my friends get on. That's a reward feedback loop. I join the game, I go down, I get killed. That's a negative feedback loop, right? Or I hide from somebody, I'm scared, I'm anxious, negative feedback loop, but it's quick. And actually, this is so powerful that is literally illegal. It's made illegal by the government in certain sectors. For example, the California government actually banned paying truckers live, right? So let's say you're a trucker and you're driving on the road. There used to be a time, and I don't know how to draw a truck, right? Let's say that's a truck, right? You got the window here, and then I don't know, right? It does not look like a truck. Anyways, you have a truck that you're driving. Let's say you get paid for every mile that you drive. That is a very fast feedback loop, right? So every single mile that you drive equals money in the bank for you, right? They basically got paid in real time. But you know what happened? They wouldn't sleep. Because they were being rewarded so immediately, they didn't sleep. So the California government said, no, you have to reward them for, and again, it's a job. How rewarding can it be to drive a truck? Obviously, the money is a reward, but at the end of the day, the California government said, hey, companies, you need to pay your truckers to sleep, to eat. You need to pay them essentially for the whole job, right? Otherwise, they're not going to sleep and we're going to have a whole bunch of accidents and it's very dangerous. The truckers got addicted to driving because they were being rewarded so immediately. Same thing goes for punishment, right? Why is heroin or cocaine so addictive? Because as soon as you snort the line, not that I've ever done it or taken heroin, as soon as you inject the syringe, you get an instant feedback loop. Instant, right? You get all of this dopamine released instantly, right? Now, most work is extremely punishing, right? It's very punishing, it's boring, it's mundane. That's why you don't want to do it. But if you actually gamify your work, you can actually get both reward and punishment feedback loops as immediately as possible. How do you actually do this? Number one, and we do this for the entrepreneurs that we work with, is you implement streaks. So you work in measurable blocks of time. Let's say time blocks. That's what we do. We work in 1 hour time blocks at my company, right? I do this, my business partner does this, and they are literally live, right? They have live accountability. So there's an accountability coach that literally watches you work every single second, right? It might sound scary, but the thing is, if you want to be kept accountable, which 99% of people don't, right, then this is what essentially needs to happen. 99% of people don't succeed anyways because they don't want to be kept accountable. They don't want to be kept accountable to the promises that they make to themselves. They want to be kept accountable to the people that they're working with. They don't want to be kept accountable to their dreams, their goals. They don't want to be kept accountable to becoming the best version of themselves, that's why most people don't succeed, right? So live accountability is, again, kind of that punishment reinforcement mechanism, but it adds an immediate feedback loop, right? You get immediately reprimanded or rewarded when you're working, right? Now it's not an intrusive process at all. And by the way, if you're interested, we're hosting a free 6-week focus challenge where we give you 24/7 live accountability so that you can actually add 30 to 50K new revenue. The whole goal of this challenge is to help you add revenue. Whether you're going to be running ads or posting content, whatever it is, we will help you execute so efficiently towards that trajectory that we will ensure that you make that money. We only have a few spots available because it's a legitimate service and we can't offer this for free to everyone. There's going to be a link below to see if you qualify. But if you look at any coach, or sorry, any elite high performing sports player, for example, football, basketball, all of them have coaches. Why do they have coaches? Because they understand the importance of external accountability. Now, is the coach better than them? Not always. Kobe's coach couldn't ball better than him, right? Jordan's coach couldn't ball better than him. But the thing is, they provided, one of the things that they did at least was they provided the external accountability so that they could perform at their best every single day. And all the professional people know this. If you do not have external accountability, external professional accountability, you will not get at the professional levels in any sphere, whether it's business, in your career, in your life, whatever the hell it is. In a sport, you need professional external accountability to be a professional at whatever the hell it is that you do. With the use of streaks, you actually can gamify the experience live and add immediate feedback loops, heck, even live feedback loops if you have the live accountability. And that way, not only do you gamify your work, but you add the feedback loops that will reward or punish you as fast as possible. You leverage the obsessiveness of your personality, and then you get addicted to what makes you money. And I've personally experienced this. Let me tell you something. If you don't believe any of this, if you're thinking, why should I listen to this guy? Let me tell you something. I've done this for myself. I used to be the most unfocused person in the world. You don't want to see my screen time, okay, from back then. I basically eliminated everything that I didn't want to do, and I leveraged the obsessiveness of my personality to actually execute on the constraint of my business and to actually make me money. And when the money started flowing in, I was rewarded anyways, which is one thing that I didn't even talk about. When you work and you gamify the work, you actually make money, right? You actually start making more money. Your revenue, wherever it's stuck at, whether it's 0 or 10K or 50K or 100K, we've helped people at all of these levels scale. Whatever the hell your revenue is stuck at, it gets unstuck, and now you make more money, right? And when you make more money, what better level of reward is there than making money, right? It's a very generic form of reward that it literally applies to everyone. Now you can say I'm not money motivated, but money literally applies to everything. It will reinforce your ego if you're mastery motivated. It'll allow you to have more mates if you're mating motivated. Anyways, I'm getting all philosophical. And the thing is, this is borderline dangerous. I have to give you some discretionary advice, right? And I'm not saying this, just to show you how well it works or anything like that. It's not a sales tactic. You will genuinely, if you get addicted to working, all the stuff that you do instead of scrolling or playing video games or whatever the hell it is that you do now, you will do the same thing but with working. You will work and make money instead of spending time with your family, instead of actually, enjoying life, stuff like that. So it's very important to be very careful when you implement systems like these and do it in moderation, right? Having that external accountability will tell you if you overtrain. Let's say you have a personal trainer, right? And you're going to the gym every day. Because you have the personal trainer, because you have the live external accountability, you know that you're going to show up. It's much more likely for you to show up at the gym because there's somebody waiting for you. Otherwise, you're going to have the shame of not showing up for that individual who is waiting for you, right? But if you start overtraining, your coach is going to call you out on it, right? Because they have the perspective. They see you every single day. They understand and know if you're actually overworking your muscles or if you're quitting something too soon, right? Or if there's anything else that you essentially need to do. So again, moderation is extremely important when it comes to actually funneling addiction from whatever you're addicted to right now to making money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Free 6-week focus challenge down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.